Aho, I have a quick message today. I was downloading last night in my dream state. That's usually when the messages come in strong for me. And so hopefully I'll remember to convey everything that I received because by the time I wake up and, started my day, most of it is distorted and it's kind of hard to recall. But I trust that the parts of the message that's supposed to come out will be will be told. So I just want to share that there's a couple of things here. So let me just process what I'm trying to convey here because, again, it was a lot that was coming in fast. But one of the main things that I want to talk about is the importance of those of you who did not receive the jab, for you to be mindful of being around those who have. And I feel that you will understand why if you've been up to date with understanding what's going on with all that. Then you're aware of the shedding that's happening, and the people that have received it, they are releasing. I don't know the scientific whole process of what exactly it is, so I don't want to speak too much into it. Again, I'm just going by the spiritual message that I'm receiving. So I encourage that you guys do your own due diligence and research as to what exactly is going on with the jab and what it's releasing and how it's affecting women, everybody, but particularly women in their cycles, with miscarriages, that sort of stuff. And so I've been aware of that, but I haven't spoke into it because it didn't come in through into a through in a message until last night. And so because they're going to start lifting the restriction or opening up places, I feel that a big part of it is because they've had enough people receive it to where they know that if people interact, then they're going to be more successful in having this get transferred to each other. And that's what I was being shown. So it's not like, oh yeah, everybody's safe now, we can open things up. It's there's more to the process or the agenda of why they're opening up. And so what I was shown is because there's enough people that received it that they actually want people interacting now so that it could get transferred, because that's what this is meant to do, is kind of go from person to person. So by just merely being around them, you'll be affected by it. So be very aware of this. And of course, you're not going to stop living or avoiding going places, because remember, we don't want to go into a fear state of like, oh no, who's going to have it? I can't go anywhere. This is not what this message is about. It just means, take extra measures on clearing your energy, eating well, detoxing your body on a regular basis, doing baths that detox, pull out toxins. So these are things that you are going to have to implement on a regular basis so that you remain healthy. Now, if you're watching this video and you're somebody that did receive it, this is not to put anybody down, because again, this is part of what's all going to have to come up to the surface, and there is going to be devastation, there's going to be grief, there's going to be anger, there's going to be feelings of betrayal, and this is all just part of what I knew was going to happen, and it's unfortunate. But what I'm saying is that in the bigger picture, we're going to be fine, so as long as we continue to help each other through everything. So if you did receive it, you can also do the detox process. Unfortunately, however, I feel that for you, you're gonna have to be a little bit more aggressive with the detox, and being mindful of really clearing out your system. And you'll get to a place, from what I understand and see intuitively. And again, this is not science. I'm just getting what I'm giving you. Take what resonates. If it doesn't make sense, leave it, okay? But from an intuitive perspective, I feel you'll be able to get to a place where you're somewhat balanced, and you'll be okay. But you will have to really, really do your part in detoxing your entire system. And I also feel intuitively that there is a counter, something that people can, not right now, but will be available so that it can also, again, minimize the effects of what this is doing to the people. And then, unfortunately, there are people that are just not going to be able to survive it, and that's because of their health. They weren't strong enough to counter it or to fight it off, and has always been part of their agenda, meaning the dark side, which takes me to talking about tea. um, and this is the former Prez. um, if you've been following me from the beginning of when all this started, I had spoke into saying that I don't know how I feel about where he stands. And I said this from the beginning. I didn't feel strong on either side, whether he's on this side or that side. And it's why I would tell people to pray into clearing all evil darkness, right? Bringing everything into the light that needed to be exposed. And I remain that way to this day. I don't have a strong sense of where he's at. And mainly because, again, he has spoken into people receiving the jab. And so last night, what came in for me as far as tea goes is that, and I know for some it's going to sound kind of crazy, but for others, you're going to just know exactly what this is and why I'm saying it. But what I received is that he is like a wild card, like the Joker card, where he has been placed in this whole process to basically do whatever we, the people, humanity, decide to use him as. So it's up to us how he will respond or do things. Because I feel, and I said this at the beginning, that he started kind of like dabbling into that stuff, but then decided it wasn't really for him. And then there was assignments that needed to be completed on his end, but something happened where it just didn't go the way they expected. So he ended up being kind of like a wild card for us to be able to have that chance. And so I feel that the people at the very, very top decided to go ahead and let him. It's because all this is a game to them. We are a game to them. And so they get a kick out of us scrambling, our suffering. That's what evil does. That's how they get their energy. Whatever it is that we're fearing, that's joy to them. So when they put him in as a wild card, it's kind of like, well, let's see what the people do. And so what I saw is that they never expected the people to actually pay attention and for the tide to start turning as it has. And so I saw that the game that they've been playing with us for years and years became alive like Jumanji. Now that's what I was shown. Like I was shown Jumanji, and that when it became alive and we became aware and we became part of the game, like participants, and started really pushing back, they went like, oh no, like they didn't ever really think or feel that we were gonna be aware and start pushing back and playing their game, and we are now actually winning the game. And so this kind of is all making sense. So going back to T, he's the wild card, and so he's going to do what humanity needs us to do, but we need to do the work. We're not going to see him just pop up and then, oh, because he would have done it from the beginning of all the fraud happened. All the fraud happened last year with all that stuff. He would have just said, okay, game over, they've cheated, blah, blah. But it didn't happen that way because we had to do our part And we still do, because it's not done. The game is not done, but they are being taken down. So it's kind of like a big chess game. And we have most of our, most of, I don't know how to play chess, so, but I know you understand what I'm saying. We're basically just about taking them all out, but we're not done. And so for the next few weeks to come, it is going to become more intense, even though it's like almost, it's it's last, like, what was it, a month or two ago I said we're like halfway in the tunnel. Well, we're almost out, but we're not out yet. And so, as you know, when things start really closing down, or you start cornering an animal, they become more crazy, more wild. They attack because that's all they have left to do. So I feel that we're going to see more of that, but we're also going to start seeing a lot more evidence coming forward. So it's going to be very important, as I've been saying, for everybody to remain calm in their heart space, really connected to each other, supporting each other through it. And the people that have received the jab, when they start coming to the realization of what has happened, this is when those of us who've been really staying grounded, doing the work, doing the healing on ourselves, we're gonna have to come forward and show up in a big way, because it's already gonna start happening. And so, yeah, that's very important. And so I feel really positive, but I also feel that it's not a time to let our guards down. If in fact, I feel it's a time for us to really be grounded, even more so now, because things are going to start moving really, really fast. So again, continue your prayers as always. Stay in that prayer, in that light, in that love, and do not sway any which way into the fear, into depression, into anything that lowers the vibration. No, 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 no. You got this. We got this. We're almost there. We are almost there. And just remember, I love you guys. I am going to start up offering meditations, healing meditations again, because we deserve it. We need it. This is what's going to get us through. So just be mindful of it. I'll be sharing those on social media. But I also feel that I'm going to be sending them out on my newsletter, which I haven't sent anything out on my newsletter for a very long time. And I will post a link to that newsletter below. So if you want to subscribe, and make sure that you receive those upcoming meditations and just other stuff that I feel guided to start really bringing around again, because it's important. Again, it's going to really be needed for the healing and for us to stay grounded. Continue smudging as much as you can. Do your baths. There's a combination of that I just heard. I think it was Dr. Northrop. I'm not saying her name right. I apologize. But I just wanted to give her credit, because it's not my it's not my suggestion. I heard it from her, so I just wanted to give proper credit, but I can't even pronounce her name, so I apologize. But the thing is it's a bath that pulls out toxins, which is alfalfa. So, which is a thing, like hay is what alfalfa is, what horses eat, with mixture of natural organic detergent. So it has to be organic detergent, not just any detergent like Tide or anything that has a lot of chemicals. Obviously, you don't want that in your body. So if you're savvy with making your own detergent and it's all natural, then you use that. So you put those two things in your bath, and it will pull out toxins. So you do that, and anything else that you might be aware of that can pull out toxins, do that. Start doing that, because again, you want to keep yourself very healthy, very healthy. If you're aware of what gumbo is another very, very great way to detox, but also keep your immune system healthy and strong. So continue keeping your immune system healthy and strong. because again, there's going to be stuff being released and you want to make sure you combat that. Sea moss is another great source so that you can keep your chest from accumulating any mucus, anything that's not good for your chest. You want to keep your lungs healthy. So taking deep breaths, using breath work, and also osha. Osha root is great. So you can have that in a tea. That's for the lungs. Yerba Santa, that's another great one for the lungs. Be very mindful of your body, very mindful of your spirit, and just your emotions, all of it, mind, body, soul, spirit. So again, thank you. I love you guys, and I will continue bringing messages as they come in. Aho.